Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. So for Sequel Sunday today, I have 3 books for you. Got the main book, the prequel and the sequel. So Solitaire is book 1 by Alice Osman. Let's get some front covers up for you. So that's Solitaire. Nick and Charlie at book 2, also known as book 1.5. I have to switch apps now. And then the prequel, This Winter. I read Solitaire and Nick and Charlie on BorrowBox, and then I read This Winter on the Kindle app. I already filmed this video, having read 2 of them, and then I realised about the prequel, which is This Winter, and it was just like, I'm just going to have to do this again, aren't I? To be fair, I looked a bit unwell in that first video, so let's do it when it's nice weather and I'm feeling more normal. Go take you through the blurbs. So, Solitaire. My name is Victoria Spring. I think you should know that I make up a lot of stuff in my head and then get sad about it. I like to sleep and I like to blog. I'm going to die someday. I think you should also know that I've not always been like this. Last year, before that stuff with Charlie, and before I had to face the harsh realities of A-levels and university applications, and the fact that one day I really will have to start talking to people, I had friends. Things were very different, I guess, but that's all over now. That one is 400 pages in young adult fiction, 13+. Next one is Nick and Charlie, which is book 1.5. I'm giving you these in the order that I read them. Absence makes the heart grow fonder, right? Everyone knows that Nick and Charlie are the perfect couple, that they're inseparable. But now Nick is leaving for university and Charlie will be left behind at 6th form. Everyone's asking if they're staying together, which is a stupid question. They're Nick and Charlie, for God's sake. But as the time to say goodbye gets inevitably closer, both Nick and Charlie question whether their love is strong enough to survive being apart. Or are they delaying the inevitable? Because everyone knows that first loves rarely last forever. That was 120 pages in fiction, romance and young adult fiction, 13+. And then the blurb for This Winter. I used to think that difficult was better than boring, but I know better now. I'm not going to think about the past few months, about Charlie and me and all the sad. I'm going to block it all out, just for today. Happy Christmas, I say. The festive season isn't always happy for Tori and her brother Charlie, and this year's going to be harder than most. This one's 120 pages in romance and young adult fiction, 13+. Let's get on with it. Basically, the books cover a family. Solitaire, you see from the point of view of Tori. In Nick and Charlie, you see the point of view of Nick and Charlie, but mostly Charlie. And then in This Winter, you get the point of view of Tori and Charlie. Tori and Charlie are siblings. The fact that in the first book, Solitaire, you do kind of feel like you've been put in the middle of somebody's story, because there's lots of references to Charlie and his eating disorder from the time before the book actually starts. So you realise that Tori's had been forced to grow up quite quickly in regards to what her brother's been going through, how her family's been dealing with her brother's anorexia that he went through and is still dealing with. And in Solitaire, it is mainly Tori's story, but you do get the little things in regards to Charlie, what Tori was observing through that time, and how she cares a lot about her brother. Her brother does become quite a big part of the Solitaire story, but in Solitaire, Tori is very depressed. She doesn't really know how to handle her emotions, and she admits that she struggles in regards to social anxiety, basically. She has a couple of friends, used to have more friends. She's doing her A-levels, basically. Her brother is getting ready to apply to university, and yeah, they're very close in age. There was only about a year between them. And in Solitaire, Tori is basically put in the middle of a hoax kind of thing. A hoax, a game where somebody decides to take over the IT stuff and start projecting things around the school, like manipulating the entire student body and teachers with this premise, which is called Solitaire, but it's like a fighting against the establishment type thing, and they're basically just pissing off all the teachers. You eventually learn who's behind it, but a lot of it is this mystery and trying to figure out who is behind Solitaire, what is Tori's involvement in it, and seeing her mental health through that game. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting concept, because you've got kind of that teenage side of it in regards to her being at school and dealing with her friendships, her social anxiety, her depression, how she's been forced to grow up so quickly in regards to her brothers. Even though it's targeted towards young adult, I feel like anybody could enjoy this book, or well, all the books, because it's just, Alice Osman has a very particular way of writing. I noticed it when I read Radio Silence. It feels like she's got something unique in regards to her storytelling, which I really enjoy. And it's dark. It feels dark and gritty. It feels very British, to be honest, in regards to that kind of British sense of humour with the sarcasm. Tori is very sarcastic, and she is put in a position where she's got two male friends. One of them who she realised gave her a tour around a previous school, another one who she knew when she was a kid and has come back, and she's put in a quite an awkward position by both of them, where she's just like, why will nobody communicate with me? I felt very, very sorry for Tori at certain points. I was completely on her side in regards to the fact that people are just really bad at communicating in this book. I think it's that teenage angst type thing, but I was totally with Tori and just thinking, why will nobody talk to her like a human being? And you've got Tori in the middle of this thing with her friends and trying to understand the friendships around her, and there's a point when she's just like, what, do you like me? Do you not like me? Can you answer the question? And one of the guys just like looks at her and just smiles and laughs, and she was just like, why are you not talking to me? And I'm just there going, I'm with you, girl, why is nobody talking like a human being? It's like that comedy sitcom trope of things going just haywire because nobody will talk to each other. But yeah, I very much enjoyed Solitaire. Talk about Nick and Charlie, the sequel 1.5. It takes what you've already learned about Charlie and his boyfriend Nick in Solitaire and going more into that relationship. I will say that Solitaire is just a straight up book. Nick and Charlie and This Winter also have illustrations in them, which I believe were actually done by Alice Osman herself. I love the artwork in both of those books. They're beautiful. They're just lovely. They're just lovely. I don't think there's a preview on here. I might be able to show you in the Kindle one. So this is just one from early in the book, but yeah, you get artwork like this throughout both of them, just little like animations of what's happening. It's not like completely full, so I wouldn't call it like a graphic novel or anything, or do I? I don't actually know what is actually considered a graphic novel these days, if it's just pictures or if it is text with the pictures, I'm not sure. I'm 34, I'm not with the young'uns, I don't know. But yeah, you got stuff like these kind of pictures all the way through. Yeah, the artwork is just lovely, and the fact that Alice Osman herself does that artwork is incredible. Because I mean, I think she wrote Solitaire when she was like 18, 19, and I think that's just so incredible for a young author to do so well right out the bat. Yes, so with Nick and Charlie, you're looking at the relationship they have as two young lovers, where one of them's going to uni and the other one isn't, and they're looking at the state of their relationship and thinking, is this worth fighting for? Should we do what other couples do and break up? Because the long distance thing is just a weird thing to kind of have to handle at this age. And so yeah, you're going along with both Nick and Charlie trying to figure out, is that relationship worth fighting for? It's a really, really sweet book, and you also look at the wonderful support that Nick offers Charlie, because Nick has been there through Charlie's eating disorder, and so you see the strength of this relationship and you're fighting for them. You're there reading it thinking, this feels like a relationship that should be able to withstand anything based on what they've already gone through. Especially when you look at what happens to them in Solitaire, when you're looking at it through Tori's point of view. But yeah, so Nick and Charlie, you're just looking at these two young lads and hoping their relationship will be able to withstand what they're about to go through in regards to possibly going long distance, and understanding that young love and that relationship. It's really sweet. And then This Winter is the prequel, which you see it from both Tori and Charlie's point of view, and seeing them handle a family Christmas where Charlie has just been through the worst of it in regards to his eating disorder. He's been to a psychiatric hospital to help him out. He is home, and it's basically his first Christmas after dealing with that, and so it's that point where he's wanting the support of his parents, but his parents don't really know how to handle it, and he realises that Tori is the person that has been looking after him the most since going through all of it. And again, it's that classic thing of communication where even the parents don't know how to communicate, because Charlie has never explicitly stated that this might be a difficult Christmas based on what he's gone through, but at the same time, it's one of those situations where you hope that the parents would realise this would be something difficult to deal with, considering the fact that it's a holiday that's based on family getting together and there's a lot of food about, and you know, this might be something where their son needs support. And there comes a point during this Christmas when Charlie just cannot take the constant questions and references to what he's going through from his family members, and he's just like, I don't want to deal with all the stupid questions and inappropriateness that you're aiming towards me, and I just want to go to my boyfriend's house. And Tori is there going, please stay for me, at least, you know, I can help you through this, but Charlie's just in that point just going, no, I just need to get out of this house. It's very much aimed towards a teenage audience in regards to the storyline, but I do think that anybody who's been a teenager can relate to this book. Even young teenagers who haven't gone through the majority of this can read it and basically use it kind of as a learning thing, because it's one of those things where if you haven't gone through it, it gives you an idea of how to possibly handle those situations, and the main takeaway from it is communication. Throughout all of it, you're just hoping that people will talk to each other. Solitaire, it all comes back to people just not talking to each other, and it gets so frustrating. But yeah, so it very kind of feels like a bit family saga-y in the relationships that are going on, and then you've got the romance stuff in regards to Nick and Charlie. There is a bit of a hint of a romance as well in Solitaire, even though I'm pretty sure the front of it says this is not a love story. Yeah, those are the exact words. Solitaire, this is not a love story. And then Nick and Charlie has, this is literally a love story. But Solitaire feels like it's more leads into the mystery side of things, and the possible romance is almost like a footnote, like it's not integral to that story. The main thing is that mystery of who is behind Solitaire, why is it happening, who is it targeting, and why does everything feel like it's falling apart. I feel like I've been quite cryptic there in regards to the main Solitaire storyline, just because it is one of those ones where I feel like you need to read it to really understand what's going on. And to be honest, I did have a bit of a theory as to who might be behind Solitaire. I was kind of correct but kind of not, because I had an idea it might have something to do with Tori, but it wasn't who I thought it was. I had the idea behind it, but I just didn't have exactly who it was. I really, really enjoyed them. I definitely recommend them for teenagers and people who were like going through relationships and maybe struggling with their mental health a little bit. You don't have to be struggling with your mental health to enjoy these books, but I think for people who want to see themselves in a character and want to be able to identify with something, these books are really good for that. They're just good stories, and Alice Osman just has a way with her storytelling which just feels very unique, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, we've got Solitaire, Nick and Charlie, and This Winter, and yeah, I really enjoyed them. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe, everybody. Mwah.